And thanks for tuning in to Morning Live. It is 7 o'clock time for your latest news. President Cyril Ramaphosa starts a two-day state visit to India today. Now, he will be the chief guest at India's Republic Day military parade tomorrow, becoming only the second South African president after Nelson Mandela to receive this honour. And let's cross now to our correspondent in New Delhi, Neha Poonia. Neha, good morning. And please, if you could just start by outlining for us the purpose of this particular visit by President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Good morning, Sakina. Yes, this is officially President Ramaphosa's first bilateral state visit to India since he took charge last year. A lot of anticipation surrounding that here in India, and quite literally, the red carpet has been rolled out for him here in New Delhi. He landed a short while ago, and he's now at the President's estate in India's capital, where he will be accorded a presidential welcome, a ceremonial reception, where he will be given the Guard of Honor by armed forces in the Indian President's presence, following which he will meet India's foreign minister, and after that the business end of the visit will officially kickstart. That's when President Cyril Ramaphosa will meet Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two will shake hands at the Hyderabad House in New Delhi, following which they'll sit down with their delegations and officially hold the bilateral talks. Now, there is a lot of anticipation surrounding this because for the last 5 years, we've seen a very extensive outreach program by the Indian government towards South Africa and the rest of the African continent specifically. And we're being told that instead of specific memorandums of understandings or deals, there will be a 3-year-long strategic development partnership program that will be signed by the two leaders. That announcement will come later this afternoon India time, and in that particular document we're being told that various deals have been outlined. There will be cooperation that will look at a 3-year timeline in a bid to sort of kickstart ties in various fields like defense, information technology, medicine, agriculture, the blue economy, and security as well. And of course, as far as trade is concerned, it's languished at about 140 billion rand, but both sides say they want to see that number double by 2021. So a lot on the table when the two leaders sit down for those talks later in the day here in India, and of course a lot of anticipation from the Indian side to see how this visit is going to pan out over the next 2 days.
Indeed, Neha. And also, President Cyril Ramaphosa will be the chief guest at the Republic Day military parade tomorrow. Quite a high honour. Only Nelson Mandela before him bestowed that particular honour. Can you tell us perhaps what was the thinking behind that? Why is our president being held in such high regard?
Absolutely. I mean, the last time we saw a South African president presiding over the Republic Day parade in India was Madiba, when Nelson Mandela was here in India. And as far as South Africa and India are concerned, strategic partnership dates back to only 1997. But the Indian government has said this time and again, and strategic experts have also underscored this. When it comes to close bilateral ties, to historical ties with any other country, perhaps no other nation ranks as high as South Africa does for India. Partly this is because of the fact that our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, started his journey in South Africa. This is something that both nations have often come together to commemorate and celebrate. And of course, when it comes to a cultural heritage, both countries have a very, very rich cultural heritage, and the challenges they're also facing in the current 21st century are also quite similar. Revitalizing the economy, creating more jobs, sort of making your presence felt on the international global sphere. And India and South Africa, of course, part of many international groups like the G20, the BRICS, the IORA. So of course there's a lot of common understanding, common ground to cover. But speaking specifically of the Republic Day parade, I did ask this to members of the Indian Foreign Ministry, and they tell me that this is a very, very important symbolic gesture because this is going to be the last Republic Day parade that Prime Minister Modi is going to preside over as well before elections due later this year. And at the end of his reign, end of his rule, he wanted to sign off by sending a message to that country that India thinks is most important from its Africa outreach standpoint, and that is South Africa. So when we see President Ramaphosa standing next to the Indian Prime Minister and the Indian President on January 26th, it's going to be very symbolic. The optics mean that this is India giving South Africa the due and the respect it deserves as far as the bilateral ties between the two countries are concerned.
Well, thank you so much, our correspondent in India, Neha Poonia. Moving on, the